What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Never made this sort of video on my channel before, but what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to be giving tips on being a dungeon master or game master, depending on what game you're playing. Um, I usually do a lot of football videos and stuff like that. I've done a couple anime videos, some Game of Thrones, but this video has always been about me talking about my interests, and Dungeons and Dragons is a big hobby of mine. I have a campaign running right now through 5th edition. A very homebrew campaign. Hell, I might even, if my players are okay with it, I might even tell a couple stories eventually. I'll have to talk to them about that first, though. Um, but yeah, so I'm going to be giving. I might end up making more of these eventually, but yeah. The first thing that I would advise, like, first time DMs of is to not over prepare. Um, that's a trap that I think every DM has probably fallen into at first. You definitely want to have a good amount prepared, but don't try to think about every little thing that they might do, because I don't care how much time you take, no matter how much prep time you have, your players are going to surprise you. They're going to come up with things that you never would have thought of. It's just the case. That's the fun of Dungeons and Dragons, Star Wars: Edge of the Empire, Pathfinder, whatever you're playing. That's the fun of tabletop RPGs. Um, so just prepare enough. Look, this is the advice that I was given a long time ago. You should prepare the things you don't want to have to improvise, because honestly, a lot of DMing is being able to come up with things on the fly. Um, and there's some things you can do to help yourself with that, because you're gonna have to improvise things. I mean, some things you do want to prepare, like large layers, like the final boss battle. Sometimes I will actually create an environment to fight him or her, it, whatever. But just normal battles. I don't usually, I don't usually build the actual battleground that they're going to be fighting in, unless it's like a large dungeon crawl or something like that. But a lot of times, what I'll do, let's say first time DMs, you're probably just starting out. Let's just say your party's level one of the most um, well known creatures to fight at level 1, goblins. I know that's boring, but hey, just gonna say for levity's sake that you guys are fighting goblins. It really doesn't matter. Bandits, goblins, kobolds, whatever. Instead of writing, oh, I want these 4 goblins in this cave, they have to cross this river. None of that. Just what I tend to do is I write down, okay, 4 goblins, and then while I'm playing, I think of the best place to use those 4 goblins. That's just usually what I do. Um, I don't usually build large set pieces unless it's the final battle. That's when, not set pieces, but you know what I'm talking about. I don't really come up with like large dungeons and stuff until it's the main battle. But just random encounters, just write down the creature statistics and stuff like that, because you don't want to have to come up with that on the fly. At least I don't. I like to have that stuff written, and what treasure they have on them, stuff like that. Um, but yeah, and one thing that can definitely help you with improvising is just having just lists ready for you. One of them being a list of names, just because that's going to help so much with improvisation. Just being able to, whether just have a large list of names for human males, human females, elves, dwarves, gnomes, dragonborn, whatever. Have different names for a bunch of different people, so you can come up with people on the fly. Because one thing you don't want to do is, oh, they're gonna go talk to this merchant. who wasn't that big a deal to you. He was just some random merchant. You didn't have a name for him. You didn't think they were going to be that interested in this guy. You don't have a name. You got to come up with something on the fly. You don't want to say, oh, his name is Steve, or his name is Dave, or Bob. You want to have some ideas ready for you. And also, with those names, put in some names of like some taverns, some basic stores, some villages maybe, just in case. Just keep it in your back pocket just in case. It's saved me. I can't tell you how many times that's saved my ass, because that's one of the things that takes the longest to come up with on the fly is a name, at least for me. Let's see. Oh, also another list for that can help too is different like random NPCs just for different situations. Like maybe you'll have statistics for bandits written down because you can pretty much use bandits for anything. You might create some stats for a bouncer, or just that way if they're in a tavern or something and they start a bar fight, you already have the statistics for the bouncer ready. Because like I said, you never know what your players are going to do. Same thing with town guards. Just have their stats ready to go. Just have all these random things listed. Also random animals. That way because in the forest there should be a chance of them running across a bear or some wolves or whatever. Just have random NPCs and creatures just written down on a list. That can help with improvisation a lot, because you're gonna have to do some improvising. Definitely write some things, but don't try to write a script, because they're not gonna follow it. They're gonna derail it with the quickness, and then you're gonna be feeling lost. So when you're writing your quest, write it with some flexibility. That way, it gives them a lot of movement to be able to move around in your quest. And I was about to get into puzzles, but I might get into puzzles in a different video, because that's a whole nother subject. But yeah, like I said, just be prepared to improvise. I mean, you have to get comfortable with it. It's gonna be kind of tough at first. DMing it comes with experience. You just have to do it. That's the only way to get good at it, is to just do it. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, I would appreciate you hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.